Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Don't bother asking young and restless Mariah if she can keep a secret. She most definitely can. Even the whopper of one that's been eating away at her since she returned to Genoa City. And it turns out that portrayer Cameron Grimes knows what her character is hiding from wife Tessa too. Kate Fairbanks tells Soap Opera Digest that she's tried to persuade her leading lady to spill the beans, but thus far, no luck. When the truth comes out, to both the audience and Fairbanks, all hell is likely to break loose. From the way Maria's been talking, whatever she did while away was so terrible, it could jeopardize the life that she's built with Tessa. Fairbanks says that she and Grimes are both absolutely up for the drama. But she also reassures fans that the start of a rocky patch doesn't necessarily mean the end of Tarea. On one hand, yes, if the couple did split up, it would be crushing. With little area in the picture, a family would be separated, Fairbanks notes, which is just a horrible feeling. Absolutely devastating. But on the other, it would give the marrieds a chance to find their way back to one another like so many other couples on the show have done over the years. If that were to happen, Fairbanks observes, it means the relationship can become even more important. The rain tapped rhythmically on the window pane of crimson lights, casting a silver sheen across the coffee shop's wood-top counters. Mariah Copeland sat in her usual booth, stirring a lukewarm cappuccino that had long since lost its foam. Her eyes kept darting to the door, her mind caught between anxiety and resolve. She had kept the secret for weeks now, long enough for it to start wearing on her bones like winter wind. It was the kind of secret that didn't just change lives. It ended chapters. And the worst part, she wasn't the only one who knew. In the swirling mix of steam and espresso, a tall woman stepped through the door. She wasn't part of the typical Genoa City crowd. Her hair was tucked under a rain-soaked wool hat, her coat nondescript but expensive. Her eyes, however, burned with a quiet knowledge, the kind of gaze you develop only after burying too many truths. "Of course I did," the woman replied, shaking off her umbrella. "I always keep my promises." No one else in Crimson Lights seemed to notice the exchange, but for Maria, the room felt like it tilted on its axis. The woman sat down across from her. She didn't need an introduction. Maria had met her once before, briefly under the pretense of helping with an anonymous tip involving the Newman family. Her name was Dana Wexler, an investigative journalist with a history that stretched like a shadow behind the elite of Genoa City. Dana gave a half smile. "Do you think I'd have made it this far in my career if I were that careless?" Maria exhaled, staring at her coffee. "I didn't mean for this to fall in my lap. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time." "Or the right place," Dana said, her voice quieter now. "Secrets don't pick hosts at random. They pick the ones who need them." Maria frowned. "That sounds like something you'd say right before setting a building on fire." Maria nodded slowly. It had arrived in a plain white envelope tucked inside a used copy of The Great Gatsby, a book from Sharon's old college collection she'd decided to donate. Maria had opened it while setting up a literacy drive. At first, she thought it was some misplaced love letter from decades ago, full of romantic yearning and poetic regret. But then she reached the fine lines. "And so I buried the truth where no one would find it, not even the child I left behind. If they ever discover who their real father is, it could destroy everything." But it was never Victor. It was someone far more dangerous. Dana shook her head. "She's smart, but not paranoid. And this secret, it changes bloodlines." A silence stretched between them. Mariah tried to imagine how many lives this revelation could rip apart. Nick, even Victor, who had enough enemies without a hidden rival fathering a child in his house. Maria hesitated. "There's a guy. I don't know his real name, but he goes by Sparrow. He left a note in my locker at the station. It said, Gatsby was never just about parties. It was about lies and legacy." Dana's face paled. "I know Sparrow, or I knew him once. He's not just a whistleblower. He's a fixer. He cleans up messes, or buries them." Finally, Dana reached into her coat and pulled out a flash drive. "There's more. That letter was only one piece. The man mentioned, far more dangerous. I think it's a man who died years ago, or at least officially. His name was Silas Ward. You wouldn't have. He was erased, but he was a biotech investor, and according to my research, he had ties to Newman Enterprises through shell companies. And one of his last known transactions was a deposit into a trust for a child. Dana didn't answer right away. I think it's possible. Or it could be someone close to you. But the letter's phrasing, the child I left behind, it feels personal. Not a cousin. Not a niece. A daughter. Maria covered her mouth. All her life, she had wondered about the circumstances of her birth, her adoption, and her complex tangle of connections in Geno City. But this was seismic. We wait, Dana said, sliding the flash drive across the table. But we don't stay silent. If someone is trying to rewrite the past, we make sure the pen is in the right hands. It will hurt, Dana said, but secrets like this always find the light. Better that it comes from truth than from manipulation. No. Listen. If anything happens to me, Tessa, my mom, they can't be dragged into this. Keep them out. As Dana walked out into the mist, Maria looked down at the flash drive. It was so small, so ordinary, yet it could ignite a firestorm that would consume everything in its path.